Chapter 2. Just a minor heist. We stood on the roof, looking down at the entrance, watching the glowing sign of TD Bank glow with green and white. I'm going down there. You go through the vents and get to the vault. Hack into the speakers and import song number 25, okay? I looked over at him, his eyes glowing a soft purple glow from the white.
The lullaby?
He cocked his head a little bit in confusion. Trust me, it'll be cool. I'll know the lyrics already.
Alright, see you on the flip side.
He patted my shoulder as he turned and ran into the vent, going down inside. I waited a few minutes before climbing down the side of the bank, a soft music playing as the lights flickered. Showtime. I stood at the entrance as I hummed the lyrics to a child's lullaby. The music was choppy, and it sounded like a record from the 1950s. People were starting to panic, looking frantically at the windows and doors. The bankers tried to calm everyone down. Mothers clung onto their children. Fathers stood up tall and strong, acting like they could take me on. I reached up and pressed a button for the voice changer to be turned off. I started to sing the soft lullaby, it going nice and slow. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. My voice was soft and airy and harmonized with the music. As people shot their gaze over to me, children started to cry. As I continued to sing more. The more and more I went on, my voice got tired. I couldn't go on for this much longer. Heck, somebody probably already called the police. After 10 more long and painful minutes of taunting people, the alarm started to go off. This was my signal to hold on for a few more seconds. I could hear a whooshing sound a few feet behind me. I swiftly turned my voice changer back on and turned to face what was behind me. I took a step back with surprise. The heroes, Nuke and Ender, stood right there, a portal disappearing behind Ender. Nuke cracked his knuckles, and Ender rolled his neck. I reached down to the back of my right thigh and pulled out a small red and black knife. The red inside the black blade was moving in swirls. Conductor, we don't want to hurt you, so just return the money and... Nuke was saying before he scanned me up and down. Where's the money? He demanded, not seeing on me at all. I don't know. I shrugged. That was partly true. I knew Guy had it, but where is the question? Nuke's fist tightened. You! He started to take a step back, but before he could take another one, Ender put his hand on his shoulder.
Calm down, Nuke.
He looked at me and at my knife, then bent down to whisper something to Nuke before standing back up.
Hey, conductor, we don't want to hurt these people. Could we at least fight outside?
I shrugged. Sure. Ender's eyes had a pleased look to them as he guided Nuke out. Nuke? He seemed a little bit too surprised. I guess he's not used to me complying after so many times he tried to take me to jail, and I replied with, over my dead body. Once outside, this turned from a minor heist to a full-out fight with heroes. 1 second, Nuke spat out loud. He typed on his phone, then put it away.
Is it really that necessary, Nuke?
Ender looked down, worried in his voice. A flame grew up next to Ender. Of course, they were calling him back up. He had a white bandana around his forehead and a black and white mask over the lower half of his face. The heroes stretched their arms behind their head and looked over at Ender and Nuke. Hi, guys. Dream and Glitch are coming. They looked back at me and put their arms down as fire started to engulf their hands. You're here? He seemed a little surprised. Where's your Apollo and purple guy? There it is. I sighed. What? I alone am not good enough for the dream team? No, he started again. I just want a real fight. It's just mockery. It's just mockery. Calm down. Guy will be here soon. Hi, conductor. Nice to see you again. A light and airy voice yelled as a hand grabbed my shoulder. I looked over to a man wearing a card mask that covered his whole face. I practically shrieked. Ice! I looked back over at the man who came out of the fire. Ace took a step to my right and took a small throwing knives. Let's kill him how we used to, King. All right. I started as a fireball was shot towards my face. Ace pushed me down, and then, as the fireball passed over, then pulled me back up. Let's play the old way, Ice. I put the small knife on the tip of my finger, then did a low whistle as it hovered in the air. Nuke football rushed me as my knife went for his head. The knife fell to the ground as I grabbed onto Nuke's arm and pushed back. It felt like trying to force two of the same magnets together. He soon grabbed my leg and pulled it, slipping me onto my back. You little... I continued to fight back. He then picked me up and threw me against the back wall, making it crack and leave an indent of my body. My head started to bleed a bit. Nuke came running at me with my knife in hand. I quickly dove out of the way, rolling onto the grass and standing back up. That's my knife! I cried, my eyes widening under the mask as Nuke ran closer with it. I tried to do a high-note whistle, trying to turn the knife away. That didn't turn out well. The small menace to society kept charging at me. At this point, I just decided to accept my fate, holding my arms out wide like you were about to hug me. Nuke stopped right in his tracks, falling backwards onto the pavement of the parking lot. 3 bullets sat at his feet. Oh yes, yes, this is where he was! I turned my gaze up to the man on my left. Purple guy. Guy! I continued to cry as he helped me to my feet. Where were you? Ice! That's right. Ace was here. I turned to look in his direction. He was fighting Glitch and Arson. Ice, get out of here! I screamed as loud as I could. No, go without me, I'll be fine! A void of a sword that was attached to Glitch's hand had Ace at the point. I'm on your side, I swear! Glitch had covering over his eyes that looked like he was from the future. His big thing was that he was, as the name states, was able to glitch things. And as he's shown, has control over the void. I nodded, knowing that it would be best to let Ace handle his own things. He had with heroes. He had grudges for both heroes and villains. Let's get going so Apollo can hear me. I darted off back behind the bank, Dave following behind with no comment or argument about Ace. My hand was drawn towards the throbbing pain in the back of my head. It was like a headache and a punch at the same time. I turned to see Dave right behind me.
You alright? That's a lot of blood you're losing there.
No, I'm okay. It just hurts. I sighed as we made our way back to Apollo's house. Once we got there, we went in the back way from the backyard. Apollo ran to open the door.
Conductor!
He yelped as he took a scared jump back. Hi, Toms. Think you can help your old brother again? Nuke got a pretty bloody bad hit on my head, and possibly a bit of my ribs, I joked.
Alright, come in. Sit in that chair.
He moved out of the way so Dave and I could walk over and sit in the dining room. Towels were placed all over the floor and on the chair. A blue tarp was placed on the floor too. 2 medkits were open on the table. Gauzes ready, along with bandages and water. Once I sat down, Tommy pushed me down so I was leaning on my knees. He inspected the back of my head before cleaning it up.
Good news.
Tommy started as he wrapped my head in bandages.
You'll live. It might take a while for you to recover.
Can't you just heal it, Toms? I looked up at Tommy. My right eye was covered by the bandage.
I can't. You know this, Will.
He snarled down at me, sighing afterwards. Something has to have been on his mind the way he snapped. I just couldn't get the courage to ask what happened.
You know, if you just stopped being the conductor, you wouldn't get hurt so much. He knows.
Dave chimed in for me.
Do you think he wants to get hurt and come to you so much? He knows it hurts you.
I stood up once Tommy finished and went to my room, changing out of my conductor uniform and sliding into the civilian clothes. It looks more normal with the bandage on. I looked up at the mirror on my wall. I look like I just came out of a war. I shook my head and made my way out the door again, going to the ocean, which was not too far away from the city. This is when a New Yorker could be happy for being by the ocean. My voice was softened compared to the music as people. Hey!